Just come in for the day.
And you claim to be intelligent and you don't know what it is. What's going on with you? You're running away from this garbage. No, something. He's not even 1.3. He's a pathetic little man, posing as a journalist. Charlie is a pathetic little man, and he's posing as a journalist.
I can tell my friend.
Testing 1, 2. Testing. Testing 1, 2.
I'm only having you on, pal. You're alright.
We'll just move one of those speakers over there now.
You want to blend in? You have to learn to blend into your
Testing 1, 2. Not better.
She's coming in there, and I said I got in there a while, she goes, I'll call you in there, man, and I put it in this last year, so she called me in there.
Testing.
Down here.
Very close. It was close, but it was there. You only put up.
You get them in and you got the Iron Force banners on that thing. Really?
Hands up. Is that any better? Hands up too. One more. Shake. How's that? Was that too loud? If I keep my face away from me, is that better? Move back. Yeah? Back here? Are you sure? Just get go home, is it? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for coming out today to the latest edition of Cork Says No. The last time we were here, we had a similar layout. We had the crusties down below, reinforced with the Gardaí, and we learned a lot of lessons those days. That day, sorry, but we're hoping not to make the same mistakes as we did. I'm sure most will agree that we're living in very, very strange times. The last 3 years have been absolutely extraordinary. First of all, we were locked in our homes for 2 years for what we now know was a flu. We weren't allowed to visit our dying loved ones. We weren't allowed to buy certain items inside in shops. We weren't allowed to leave our 5-kilometre radius from our home. As far as the establishment is concerned, COVID is over. Once the Ukrainian scam, and I'm happy to call it a scam, started, COVID finished. COVID was over. Next day we were talking about refugees. And since then, we've opened up our country to tens and hundreds of thousands of scam artists from all over the world, posing as Ukrainian refugees who've been put up in the finest of accommodation, 4-star hotels, flats, brand new houses. And now normalised is the building of estates for these people. Modular homes is what people will know them as, and they're popping up all over the country. If someone said to me, if someone said to you even 12 months ago that we would be building private estates for foreign nationals that have no passports, you'd look at me and say, stop, that's too much, that'll never happen. No, it's normalised, and this is how it goes. They rub our noses in it a little bit, they rub our noses in it a little bit more, and here we are now. Nobody seems to bat an eyelid when they tell us a new modular homes estate is going up. The latest one is Charleville and County Cork. But they're holding a public consultation for the modular homes in Charleville. It's happening next Wednesday, okay? It's happening inside the smallest room in Charleville Library, and it's happening at 10 o'clock in the morning when most people are going to be at work. Ukrainians won't be at work, but the people that are paying for the Ukrainians, all of you will be at work. So it's almost like they don't want us to be there. Well, I'm going to be there. And, they're going to have to listen to me for a few hours. But on top of the Ukrainian nonsense, we've also got the climate agenda that has really escalated in the last few weeks. If you look at the news and all, I try to stay clear of it, right? But just to kind of know what's going on in the minds of the normies, I do like to keep an eye on it. And if you believed everything you read on the news, you would think that the world is on fire. Like, I personally I'm almost ready to put on a hoodie today. But somehow the world is on flames, it's burning, we've only got 5 years left. Maybe 6 years if we push it. Now I know the predictions in the 70s, where we got the doomsday predictions, they fell through. And the predictions in the 80s, they also fell through. So did the predictions in the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, but I promise, here we are now in the 2020s, and the world is definitely going to end from climate change. And the only thing that can stop it, lefties, you're going to have to scream louder than that, because the only thing that's going to save us from man-made climate change is taxes.
Yes!
We need you to hand up your taxes. And when you give up all your taxes and kill all the cows, they all have to go. When we kill the cows, it's going to cool down.
And start eating human meat.
There you go. We might have to start eating some babies too. But for the most part, taxes are going to save the world, and they need them. And see those NGOs down there, they also need your taxes. That's the only reason they are here today, because they are the original rent-a-mob. And see the lads in the yellow jackets with the bellies, they are also here on your taxes today.
The black and tans is
The
what
black
they
and
are.
tans, the modern day black and tans. We still can't hear you! But speaking of the modern day black and tans, we've all seen the escalation in Dublin over the last few weeks. Fergus Power, we all know Ferg. Ferg was arrested the other night for absolutely no reason. He was told to move off of a public street. It's a public street for a reason. Guess who owns that street? You do. Yellow jacket with the belly, he doesn't own the street. You own it. And you pay him. Remember, it's your taxes. The Ford was brutally arrested the other night. Charged. And last night again in Ballybrack, the same thing happened. Armed Gardaí showed up to a protest with peaceful women, men and children. Armed Gardaí, for what? Why are they sending armed men out to police protests unless they're planning on using their weapons?
Intimidation is all it is.
It's intimidation, but listen, I've spoken to a lot of these guys, I've spoken to a lot of these girls, and they are away with the fairies. They believe everything the TV tells them. Everything. I spoke to a guard a few years ago, and he asked me why I wasn't wearing a mask, and I told him I don't wear masks, and he literally jumped 2 feet backwards. I'm not joking. It was a Mitchelstown Garda station. But the Gardaí have bought everything that the government, and by extension the media, and Donald O'Keefe, that includes you. You are an arm of the government media because you don't put out anything objective. I don't know where you are, Donald. You're probably trying to steady your shaky leg. But you are an arm of the Irish government, and we see you. But just to finish up what I'm saying here today, the Gardaí cannot be trusted, okay? They are not here to help you. They are not here to be guardians of the peace. They are here to politically police this country. They are here, they will only offer you minute protection if your opinions are the right ones. If you have one opinion that is not in line with the establishment, the Gardaí will turn their back on you and will persecute you at every turn. So be under no illusion. Folks, that's all I'm going to say today. We will line up the speakers, and Ireland belongs to the Irish. How are we doing, folks? It's great to be out here in Cork today, among some of the bravest rebels I've ever met in my life. My name's Luke O'Connor. I'm a member of the Irish Freedom Party, and I'm delighted that Derek and Tommy extended me the courtesy of speaking today. So I'm here to speak today basically about the media. Unfortunately, I went to a lot of the same lecture halls as our media class. And I can tell you one thing, they are nothing but ideological actors set up to make this country a harder place for people like us, working people, to live and survive. Those guys down there, you have to hand it to them. We might disagree with everything they say, we might disagree with everything they believe in, but they turn up for their cause. And you people are the same, you turn up for your cause. The more people we get to turn up for our cause, the better. So I suppose immigration is the main thing as regards, it's the hot button issue when it comes to the media. We had an immigration protest in Kilkenny a few months ago. I and another few heads in Kilkenny, we organised it. And it was amazing what the media, the local media did. The Friday before the protest, they interviewed the state-sponsored activists. They interviewed them and asked them what was going on. They didn't mention our protest, which their protest was designed to counter. They didn't mention any of our people that had stood up time and time again. What they did was they tried to put us all into a pigeonhole. And they tried to say, these people, they aren't well read, they don't know their stuff. And I just know from talking to people here today that that's just not true.
So basically the morning of the protest, I went up to the Garda station and I told them we were going to a certain location. So imagine my surprise, we changed the location later in the day. Hundreds of state-sponsored activists turned up to that location. So obviously there is a leak. Obviously you have the arms of the state, whether it be the media class, whether it be the Gardaí, whether it be people who feel the need to leak information, you know, and we all know some of them. Because it's very easy to frighten the horses, lads. And the reason it is because people don't want to be stigmatized. They don't want to go, oh, people don't think nice things about me because I'm against immigration. The reality is, where I'm from in Kilkenny, we're a massive tourist area. For every €1 a tourist spends on a hotel, they spend €3 in local businesses. Our local hotel was closed down in an economically deprived area of the city. 2 businesses have shut within the next 4 months. That's 2 livelihoods gone down the drain. And people want me to be nice about it. Don't say anything about immigration. Why wouldn't I? If it's hurting us, why wouldn't we say something about it? And if we don't say something about it, it'll continue to get worse. Look at Britain, look at Italy, look at Germany. All basket cases because they haven't controlled immigration. So basically, I've gone on and I've looked at some of the people that I went to college with, and it's unbelievable how much they've bought into this scam. You see Kitty Holland, who puts up sham confrontations on the Irish Times. The Irish Times, the paper of record, something we're all supposed to believe in. And she should be a fiction writer. It never happened, some of the things she said, you know? And one of the saddest days in my life was during COVID. The Irish Independent, the paper my father read all his life, had a paid advertisement from the Chinese Communist Party, the ambassador to Ireland. And he said, the ills of the world were not down to COVID. The ills of the world were down to populism. Populism is me and you meeting on the street. It's ordinary Irish people. That's populism. And he was telling it was our fault after everything that happened. And worse, the media got paid for it. They got paid for it. So, I'm delighted to see you all here today. I want to thank you all for turning out. And the more we do this, the weaker they get. Because we don't get paid. We don't get paid. None of us drink the soup. And we never will. We are the people and we have had enough. Thanks, guys.
What, Tommy?
How are you getting on, everyone? I'm here for it. Okay. I was listening to a video on YouTube there last week, really interesting, from a guy called Taylor Marshall. He's a Catholic convert. And he was talking about Our Lady of Fatima. No, stick with me, alright? Bear with me, I'll make my point in a while, okay? So, he said that Our Lady appeared in 1917 to some children in Portugal, and she predicted that the arrows of Russia would spread around the world. Those arrows, 6 months later, turned out to be the Bolshevik Revolution, which is basically communism, right? And I have to say, Our Lady was bang on. If you don't believe me, they're communists, okay? They're all communists. They don't like private property. They absolutely can't stand God. They can't stand creation, male and female. So they are absolute communists. If you think that our government aren't communists, so we all Americans got a load of property, you can't be a communist. Governments don't live like the people. Communist rule, basically, it's for the plebs. The ordinary people live under communist rule. Our government are like the oligarchs, right? Our government gives those communists nearly 7 billion per annum. So please don't tell me that our government don't support communism. They support it very well. Our Gardaí support communism. They will come down and harass us You will not harass them. Our media support communism. We know they're very biased. They support them. They will not support us. So, I found something online the other day, and it's basically about Antifa and the NGOs. It's very interesting. So, this tactic that they've been using against us, right? Our government have been using, the media have been using, the NGO class have been using, began in 1943 in the United States. So, 1943, the following directive was issued from Communist Party headquarters to all communists in the United States. When certain obstructionists, that would be us here today, become too irritating, like what we're doing now, after suitable build-ups, label them as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic, and use the prestige of anti-fascist, which is Antifa, and tolerance organizations to discredit them. That would be them. No, it took 80 years, but we sussed it out in the end. What you're hearing now is basically a tactic, and it's a tactic to make you shut up and kowtow to their agendas. This is the next part of what they said. In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names that already have a bad smell. Nazi, racist, blah, blah, blah. The association will, after enough repetition, will become fact in the mind of the public. That's what you're seeing today. If you don't understand it, that explains it all in a nutshell. Okay? So, what they're doing, since the communists came around over 100 years ago, they've infiltrated and infested every organ of our society. From the Vatican, yes, the Vatican, all our cultural institutions, our schools, and of course our government. And then you have the NGO system to push the propaganda out there, to make everyone think that what they're pushing is popular, in case you don't understand that. So basically, right, this is one of their tactics. Communists need a victim and they need the oppressor. It's very, very basic stuff. So in Ireland, right, at the moment you have these minorities, right? Okay. They are now being weaponized against us because they are the perceived victim. And this is done by our government, by the way. They didn't decide to do this. This is done by our government. So I'll give you an example, right? Ethnic minorities come into this country. They're all victims. Their oppressors are the Irish. We're the oppressors. The real intended target of this is the Irish. And how they do this is call you names and make you kowtow down to them. What's the goal? What's the motive? The motive is when you kowtow down to immigration and you don't fight back because you're afraid of being called names, the plan is to eventually make us a minority in our own country. And that's the same right throughout the West, Australia, New Zealand, America, especially Europe, because this is where the native people come from, Ireland, England, France, etc., etc. And that's all part of the Killarney plan, a plan that was formulated 100 years ago. And the guy who formulated this plan was the founding member of the EEC, which has now become the EU. It has been ingrained in EU policy. The basic purpose of the EU, you might find this hard to believe, is to destroy Europe. That's it. It's not to build roads. I know they build roads. It's not to whatever give farmers loads of money. That's the grooming bit. That was them grooming us. Now they're coming in, they're cashing in now, this is it. Right? So, it's the same thing with the climate change. The victim is planet Earth, the oppressor is the human, the real target of course are people. How can we fix this? Well, as Derek said, loads of taxes, Take cars off the road, that's another communist thing. They don't like private property, that is including your cars. If you go up to McCurtain Street and Coburg Street, this is the first implementation of the 15-minute city. They're narrowing McCurtain Street down to one lane. It's going to be a bus lane. It might be bus and cars for now. Eventually, it will just be buses. They're going to implement this right throughout Cork. And when speaking about Cork at the moment, obviously it's a global thing, but it's happening in Cork. This whole bus corridor thing is to eventually choke off public access to cars and bring us all into buses. Part of your 15-minute city. I don't have to go into it. Type in 15-minute city, Cork County Council, it's all there. It's to improve public transport. But really what it means is to disimprove private transport. That's where this is going. You might have also heard about a guy called Tom Whelan on Facebook. Check him out, he does a great video about this. They're installing surveillance cameras on our motorways and our roads. You will be taxed for every kilometre you go. So your trip to work is going to get a lot more expensive. All designed to get you out of your car and onto these buses. That's what this is about. If you think I'm mad, okay, come back to me in 6 months and we'll have a chat again, no problem. Okay, so the next thing, right, religion. As we know, there's been a massive drop in religion in this country over the past 30 years. And I can understand why people think, you know, okay, beautiful priests and all that. But that was down to the infiltration of the Catholic Church many years ago. There's a great book by Taylor Marshall called Infiltration. You want to check it out. Right? He explains it goes right back about 180 years. A slow infestation of the Catholic Church to the point now where there's a counterfeit Catholic Church has overshadowed the real one. I mean, look at Bergoglio, the so-called Pope. He's on about climate change the whole time. He was on well done with the vaccine, masks, immigration. He basically goes along with all the agendas that lot go along with. They're communists, he's a communist, that's your proof of infiltration. Simple as that. Okay, and of course, feminism. No. I'm all about equal rights, but it was never about equal rights to begin with. It's basically women again are oppressed, men are the oppressors, and it's basically the attack is against men. Masculinity is now called toxic. It's toxic, right? So, and that's about effeminate the men. So that when the shit hits the fan, you're one of a load of guys dressed up as women to defend Ireland, basically. That's what it is in a nutshell, right? That's what they like to see all our youth go. There is another agenda to the transgender ideology, and it's really too horrendous to talk about, but it's got a lot to do with human trafficking, I believe. And I'll tell you why here. Transgender kids, I believe, are the new fetish of the elites. Remember, it's a $34 billion industry. Kids, depending on where they're from, fetch a different price. African kids, 10 grand, Chinese, I don't know, whatever. But that won't do anymore. Now they want transgender kids. I suggest you watch the film, Sound of Freedom. They'll do a better job of explaining that than me. So, all the stuff I just spoke about here has been brought in by our government. This amounts to nothing less than high treason, in my mind. There is a treason law in the Constitution. Treason Act 1939, the Irish Statute Book. Now I'm going to say it first, right? I don't need to spoil alert, but I don't believe in the death penalty. I don't believe in using one evil to deal with another evil. But anyway, I'm just going to read it out there. Every person who commits treason within the state shall be liable on conviction thereof to suffer death. Every person who, being an Irish citizen or ordinary resident within the state, commits treason outside the state shall be liable on conviction thereof to suffer death. As far as I'm concerned, the likes of Varadkar, Martin, the 160 odd members of the Dáil, Drew Harris as well, a lot of our media and a lot of those people up there are guilty in one form or another of treason. Communism is a foreign ideology. It's not from Ireland, it was brought in here. And if you go by death toll alone, it must be one of the most evil ideologies on the planet, with over 100 million people dying under the banner of communism. Okay? That's what they support. If you're trying to introduce an ideology into a country that's detrimental to the culture of the country and the people living in it, that's treason. If you're cooperating with the likes of the World Economic Forum, like Leo Varadkar and his crew are, the UN, the EU, to the detriment of the Irish nation, that's high treason as well. If you're pushing the propaganda for all these organisations, that's also treason. The likes of Helen McEntee, two children, I believe, one, I don't know, would really want to think about what she's doing. Because one of these days, she could be before a court of law, facing high treason charges, which I would like to see a life sentence for. And I mean, you're either getting out, you're getting out in a body bag basin, you're never going to see daylight. That's what I believe in. So on that note, I want to wrap it up. I just made my point of view very clear. This is where I stand, and I hope that, you know, if you've just come to our side and you've just, you know, you might have learned a few bits here, well and good. I'm sure most you know what's going on. But we need to get the message out that we've been absolutely infiltrated by communists and people pushing a communist agenda on Ireland. And it's time to stand up, fight back.
Everybody, just want to say thanks to Tommy and Derek for all the work that they're doing, getting us all together today, standing up, fighting for each other, standing shoulder to shoulder, as we should be, as we're known for in our history. You know, Tommy touched on a big point about Our Lady of Fatima, you know, and about everything that's going on today. Within this country, people realise the past 60 years we have been infiltrated by Marxism in our parishes. They have implemented, and I have studied this for a long time while I wanted to become a Franciscan monk, and what kind of stopped me and made me become a traditional Catholic was because I've seen all the major changes that they brought in over 60 years through the Second Vatican Council. It was a council specifically designed to put the Marxism teachings into the schools, into the churches, and into business, colleges, seminaries, convents, everywhere. So for 60 years, we have been fed all of this to normalise us. Because if we weren't normalised into this, there's no way they would have got away with a lockdown. There's no way abortion would be in this country. There's no way we'd be having all of these problems if it wasn't for the falling away from the Catholic faith in Ireland. Because it was stolen from us. Yous were all robbed. Yous were introduced to a new mass, new sacraments, new rosary, new devotions, and they all stripped away your belief in God. And they call this the age of enlightenment. Well, here's the enlightenment that they want to bring in right down here. We don't want this enlightenment. So, Tommy, thanks for touching on that, because it really is the root cause of what we're dealing with today, you know. We're in a spiritual war, and we have the tools spiritually to deal with it. Like, yeah, we're all here today, we've the mics, right, you know, we're ready to go to war, but we've got to look at things on a spiritual level, and I think that's completely missing in everything that we've been doing lately, you know. And getting back to God, it's so important, because God is truth. And we're all here fighting for truth. So we're all here fighting for God. That is the way I see it. This is God's work. This is God's work. And I'd like to thank Ross Naheed and the whole team. Big round of applause for Ross. He stood up like a real man, you know. And that's what we need. And it is happening all over this country that men are standing up. And by the work that we're all doing, it's breathing courage into people. They're like, yes, I can do that too. So we got to set examples for each other, and it's happening all over this country. Fair setting examples, you know. And even the other guy, David, who was arrested last night, he was with myself and Tommy outside the Garda headquarters yesterday. And they are singling us out. Let there be no doubt. I just got charged for trying to bring Patriots back away from them. I was like, come on, back away. I don't have nothing to do with them. And the guy came straight over. What's your name and address? You're not going until we get your name and address. We're bringing you to the station. We're charging you on a public order charge. That's charge number 8 for me. That's not going to stop me. None. They've already put me into prison. They've already been persecuting me for 3 years. And let me just tell you, they're only making me better at what I do. Better, more efficient. We have more support than we ever did in this country because we are the public opinion right now. We have it. So we will continue to keep the pressure on. We will continue to go into the shops. We will continue to keep closing down this library and everyone across the country if I have to. And the plan is next Thursday, myself, Ross and the whole team, we're going to travel up the Shannon River. We're going to stop at every library, every bookshop, every shop that we can possibly find that has these books in it. And we're going to leave a paper trail the length of this country. The time is ours now. We have to seize the moment. We have the momentum. Man, do you know how good it is to say that? 3 years I'm fighting. 3 years I'm fighting. No momentum. Couldn't get it. And boom, we have it. It's a miracle from God. Thank you, Jesus. We literally can't do this without each other. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't do it without each other. It's so hard out there walking on your own. To see everybody coming together here in Cork is beautiful. I feel like Cork is now my home. I'm here so much. It really is. I love Cork, especially the people. These are all just beautiful. I really mean that. And thanks for having me down here today. Thanks, lad. Erin Gabra.
The last one kept saying Cork instead of Cork.
Thanks, thank you. Right, lads, my name is Steve McGill. I'm here with a few topics I want to bring up with you that I feel are quite relevant to the lives we're all living at the moment. Before I do that, as well as saying welcome to everybody here, it's great to see the support. There's one lady in particular who was so looking forward to coming down here today. She didn't quite make it because she passed away earlier in the week. Her name was Leslie Frey.
Rest in peace.
And as well as that, I'm thinking of Leslie today. I think it's only manners that we say Hail Mary for her. So whenever you're ready, lads. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now at the hour of our death. Amen. May Leslie rest in peace. Well, as I said, I've got a few topics that I want to bring up today, and my first one really that I think we need to talk about is one of our biggest problems in this country at the minute, which is government. Right? One of the biggest problems in Ireland is government, and more so the decisions that they make, telling you they're making it on your behalf. I can be damn sure lots of those decisions are not made on my behalf. It's an interesting thing actually about this government that is currently in power. Because in 2020, in the general election, the government who are now currently in power, they're not the ones who won the election. I'm not saying that if Sinn Féin was there, it'd be any better because, well, come on, they'll sing off the same hymn sheet, really, don't they? It's amazing. I mean, where is democracy? That is not democracy. When the people who won an election are bullied out, and are bullied out by Fine Gael, and they did this through 5 months struggling, having chats with Eamon Ryan and the Green Party to finally get into power on the 27th of June 2020. Now we all know what kind of damage the Green Party and Eamon Ryan and his ilk are doing to this country. Now, what I'd like to have a look at, since they got into power in 2020, there's a few things that they think that we have forgotten. And let's just have a look at some of the history of their span in power since then. For a start, within the first 6 weeks of this government being in power, they went through ministers for agriculture like they were going through socks or underwear. They had 3 of them in the first 6 weeks. First we had Barry Cowan, then we had Dara Calloway, and who we got then after that was Charlie McConaughey, who is still there. You might notice the 3 of these are Fianna Fáil ministers, right? That's my first point I'd like to make. Now bear in mind when they did go into power in 2020, Ireland was in COVID lockdown. And on the 18th of August, they actually made the restrictions tougher, really tougher. It was unreal. Because on the 18th of August when they made it tougher, even though they were tougher, the day after on the 19th, we saw what's known now as Golf Case, with over 80 political representatives, including Phil Hogan and other TDs and political figures. They decided to take a little journey up and do a Golf Society dinner up at the Station House Hotel in Clifton. We haven't forgotten about this. That was a prime example of saying, you get up, you stay in your home, you don't go out. Do as we say, but not as we do. That was Golf Days. It wasn't too long after that, in October of that year, 2020, what came to light was the scandal of Leo Varadkar leaking government documents. That was only in October. They're only in power since the end of June. And this came out. Yes, that was 2020. Right then, let's go into 2021. And let's go as far as July. And we've seen Simon Coveney of Fine Gael. He gave us a fabulous display of nepotism when he went away and created the job of Special Envoy for his close ally and former Children's Minister, Catherine Zappone. They even celebrated about it in the Marine Hotel. We got to know that as Golf Gate. There's so many dates here, it's unbelievable. Move on to one later again, or maybe a year later. And a year later, July last year, right, we saw Fine Gael Party Whip Joe McHugh. He resigned, and as well as that, in July of last year, the government faced a motion of no confidence in them. It's not looking too good so far for them, is it? In August of last year, we saw Fianna Fáil TD Robert Troy. He resigned as a result of not declaring property interests. In December of that year, there was another motion of no confidence tabled, and that was tabled no confidence in Dara O'Brien, the housing minister. We'll be getting back to him in a minute. I have something to say about him in a minute. Then on December the 17th last, Leo Varadkar and Micheál Martin decided to play musical chairs. They just swapped jobs. There was no difference. It was the same useless government. Right? Leo Varadkar was back in Taoiseach, and so far it has proved to be just as bad as his last reign as Taoiseach. Let's go into the beginning of this year in 2023, and Pascal Donoghue, who was then the Finance Minister, Fine Gael, he was the National Finance Minister. He served us with the election postal scandal. He did. All the way through this, since this government got in, right on all the scandals they've done, all the different gates, Cartgate, Marine Gates, they even tried to lock you in your house. They banned people from going to Mass. They tried to ban weddings and make it as minimal as possible. And once again, they tried to ban funerals where we couldn't even bid farewell to our loved ones. I'm telling you, this government hates you. This government absolutely hates you. And I think it's fully safe to say that this government is just not fit for purpose. Absolutely not. And all of this could be solved very easily because the President of Ireland, he has the authority to dissolve the government and call for an election. But then it's the likes of this government that has him in the position he's in. Right. I said I wanted to come back about Donald O'Brien, the housing minister, right? Because in 2020, when Donald O'Brien became housing minister, homeless figures, the tally was 8,699. Fast forward to today. Fast forward to today, 3 years later. Fast forward, and the figures announced yesterday, the homeless figures, are now on 12,600. That is a rise of 3,901. That is 1,300 extra homeless every year under the watch of Donald O'Brien. He's not good either. Trust me, he's not. Now I suspect these figures that they announced last night of 12,600, I reckon they're not right, because when they calculate these figures, all they look for is the amount of people who are registered homeless, people in homeless hostels, people in B&Bs. They're still homeless, right? But that's only the figures they're counting. They're not counting the people living back home with their parents. They're not counting the people who are sofa surfing. They're not counting any of those. When you take all of them into account and put it onto the 12,600, we're a lot closer to 100,000 homeless in Ireland. And I really believe that. Okay? People like to say that, well, you know, there's a housing crisis and all that. Well, trust me, this is not a housing crisis. This is a homeless crisis. Figures compiled by Post Delivery Staff and Autumn Survey Ireland states that there are 83,662 vacant homes and a further 21,481 derelict homes nationwide. We should not be seeing any homeless figures when there is at least 6 properties for all of these registered homeless in this country that are available and fit to live in. At least 6 for every one of them. Isn't it amazing as well that with homeless figures at the level that they are, that we can accommodate so many migrants, refugees and asylum seekers in this country, and leave nearly 13,000 of our own people on the streets without a roof over their head. Lots of them have died already. And I'm sorry to say that many more probably will. So far, Ireland has accepted over 100,000 refugees and asylum seekers. Initially, we were told that we were going to be having refugees from Ukraine, and that these refugees coming in will be women, children, and the elderly. Fast forward there all of a second, because that all of a sudden jumped into an open border policy. I know we are seeing people coming from all over the world into our country, claiming refugee status and asylum. These people are coming from countries like Nigeria, Georgia, Albania, Somalia, and all of these countries are safe countries. There is no war there. So, the question I ask, what are they claiming refugee status or asylum from? These are safe countries. Where are we paying to put these people up? These are economic migrants in a lot of cases. They're going around with designer clothes, driving great cars. They're not refugees or asylum seekers. They are economic migrants. These are also people who recognise completely different cultures to what we recognise here in Ireland. And they are cultures that are number one, misogynistic, and number two, they work on a sense of self-entitlement. They come in here to feel self-entitled. I want a house, I want a home. We saw that a man when people were put into the modular homes. Within a week they were complaining about them. Complaining about them. How dare they? They are filthy individuals. Since these migrants started beginning arriving as well as 18 months ago, we've seen massive rise in certain crime figures. We've seen attacks on women, rape, murder, and worse again, even the attempted abduction of children. These people cannot be trusted. I believe we are now at the stage where we need to do all and everything in this country to protect our women and our children. Because it just shows that they're starting arriving with the crime figures. Now, when I say that, I'm quite aware that many ladies out here, many ladies are well capable of defending themselves. So that's why we must concentrate on defending and taking care of our children. For example, when I say children, for example, libraries such as this one, and other ones all around the country, as we speak here today, they are furnishing children with sexually explicit material. And these children are from the age of 12 to 18. They call them young adults. An adult is over 18, so these are children. Okay? Now, in these books, they give them detailed instruction on how to perform some sexually explicit acts. They even have pictures. This is pornography. Absolute pornography. As well as that, any child can go in here and just take it out. Do we really want to be teaching our children how to perform sexually explicit acts on each other? Of course we don't. That is filthy. It's disgusting. And I'm sick to death of all of this going on. Right. In at least one of these children's books, at least one of them, they give detailed instruction on how to go on dating apps, gay dating apps, namely Grindr. They tell you how to do it. They tell you upload a picture. You don't have to look anywhere because the app will show you who the closest over 18 gay men are to them. They're telling children how to do this. People have been murdered through that app. This is it's just not good enough. And it's not just in libraries, because just up the road there's a bookshop called The Place. The Place, they are also furnishing children with these books. When I say children, 12, 14-year-olds. And that actually goes against the Children First Act of 2015. For any of you that are not familiar with it, it is the Child First Act 2015. It is actually on the TUSLA website. I checked it myself. I mean, There is no duty of care when librarians and councils back them and bookshop staff furnish a child with this material. Absolutely shocking stuff. Things don't stop there though. Things don't stop there because they want to introduce this into schools beginning this year. They want to introduce it under the heading of SPHE, Social, Personal and Health Education. That's fine, that all sounds great. But under that heading, there are different modules on the SPHSE. And the troubling one, in my opinion, is the RSE. That is Relationship and Sexual Education. And all of this is being pushed by the World Health Organization, the WHO. Now the WHO, in their recommendations for us, they are recommending that primary school kids are taught masturbation. And by the time they are at 12 or 13, they should be having sexual partners. I mean, come on, we didn't see this in the Dark Ages. These are the cultures that try to bring into this country, and that is just not good enough. Just not good enough. On top of that, it's in the schools, it also goes on to teach the LGBT beliefs that there are multiple genders. Multiple genders! What do you think men and women are? Do you think we're made by Heinz with 57 different varieties? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right? You want to teach children about transgenderism. And that is wrong. Absolutely wrong. When we are born either a boy or a girl. There are only two genders. On top of that, adding any bits on or taking bits off, that is human mutilation. And that's what these people are standing up for down there. That's what these people are really standing. Yes, I said a bit of that. Okay? Now, that's all I really have to say. But I just want to hear everyone repeat after me. There are only two genders!